And welcome to this week's episode. We got one goal: help photographers get better by learning from the mistakes of others. So let's jump into our first image right here. First one up, let's just call this "Till Death Do Us Part." Love this image. It's got that feeling, romantic feeling. I love the almost kiss. And so this is a really good image. I'm sure the client loved it, but what can we do to make it better? And immediately I'm going to jump all over, right, the bright spots. And so every time I feel like I keep repeating myself, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if you just don't want to understand how art works. Your eye will always go to the brightest part of the image. Always, 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 always. Not sometimes, not maybe, not never, always. It will always go to the brightest part of the image. And if that's what you want, then keep doing it. If it's a high key picture, right, you can use the brightest part to draw your eye to a place of interest. But is this really the place of interest you're trying to drive them to, right? I say no. And this is the brightest part of this image. It is a simple dodge and burn to fix that. It's not that complicated, right? So just spend 4 minutes polishing your image. Like, it's as simple as that. So the thing that's irking the shit out of me with this image is the inability of the maker to polish this. That's all I want, right? Right? It's just, but this is a portrait. This is the person's face this close to the camera. Like, at this point, take a second and just clean up the skin. It's literally less than 30 seconds to clean up those blemishes. I'm not saying make their skin look plastic. I'm just saying use the clone stamp tool. It's what it's there for, and figure this out, right? So you can do things like 20 seconds, man. I feel like the timers are getting shorter. All right, clean that skin up. That's one thing we can do, right? So it's putting the effort into this to make it stand out when other people are looking at it. Same thing down here. Driving me nuts, right, that we just didn't clone stamp this out, right, which is the parking tie that's in the parking lot there. It's distracting. Getting rid of it is going to be that much better, okay? And all we got to look at that. It's already better without it. That's the kind of stuff I want to see you guys doing. Don't focus on my horrible clone stamp tool in 2 minutes, all right? So that's it. Let's make this one better. I swear the 2 minutes are getting shorter and shorter. Okay, next 2-minute critique is up. Let's look at this guy. All right, come on. Your couples have to feel comfortable. So the pose on this is brutal, right? She is draped over her shoulder. She does not look comfortable. She is stretching. The sleeves on his jacket are pulled up. That's a mess. Okay. Okay. We framed it up real nice. That's good. That's a good start. But there's an anchor between them. They're supposed to be in love. We're supposed to be showing connection. But there's this anchor in the room that we need to talk about. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Bad joke. But you get what I'm talking about. I can't even tell it's an anchor because parts of it are cut out of the frame. So it's the same as cutting at a joint. You're cutting this anchor out that you, as the photographer, have made a primary element in this shot. I didn't make it a primary element. You did by sitting the groom there and having it in the shot. So at least explain to me, as the viewer, how this all works together. And we're making our bride look heavy here. She is not going to be happy with that. The way we have got her leaning into the shot, up and over, is not a pleasing pose. This is a bad pose. This is the thing that has to be fixed. The lighting, everything else is irrelevant to me. You can get away with a lot of bad lighting if you've got your pose and the couple looks good and comfortable. And like I said, his jacket's open. And so this is just a sloppy shot. That's all it is. I'm telling you, if you're the maker of this, step away, take this to heart. These are things you absolutely can fix. Pay attention to the details. The details absolutely matter. I feel like we still have time left. Like the 2 minutes on this one is longer than the other ones. Let's go to the next image. All right, so here I'm going to guess we've got a fine art image that you're working on. That's fine, right? I'm not going to judge. It is a look, I'm being honest. I'm looking at the image. I don't get it. She's looking at the back of her head in the mirror of the back of her head. How is that happening? Is she looking at her past from behind the rearview mirror? Look, at the end of the day, it's fine art, and the maker is trying to send a message. Whatever message that he or she is creating is up to that maker. I'm not going to critique that. But what I am going to critique are the glaring mistakes in this image that should have been fixed to make this a better image, okay? So let's get started. First and foremost, why is this spot up here not filled in? Why is it not filled in? You took time to drop that mirror in. You took time to fill that mirror in with the back of her head. So you took time to make this a good image, but this is distracting up here. This makes no sense up in that top left corner. It's distracting. It's the brightest spot. It's white. It's calling my eye up to it. It doesn't belong there. I belong right here in this area. This is where the story's happening, right? All you got to do, 10 seconds, stamp that out, clone it out, whatever you got to do, and it's gone, and we have a better image. Okay, all right. What else can we see here? This, you see this bright little leaf above her head? I can't stop staring at it. I can't stop seeing that brighter leaf because I feel like, right, it's not supposed to be there. Like from far away, I felt like it was an apple on her head, and I'm guessing that's not the issue. So all I got to do is stamp that out, zero out. Look at that. With it, without, come on, everybody's seeing that, right? Even though it's that little detail, hopefully you are seeing that. And then, of course, it's just as bad in the reflection. So even in the reflection, that is there, okay? And it's a different, it looks like she's been cloned into some other areas. So, because we have this bright spot here that I would want to fill in too. Where are we at? Done. You got to give me the countdown. I'm still going on this image. There's still more done. Here's something else driving me batshit crazy on this image. Overall, it's a good image. You took time to fix the hair on this one. You fixed the hair. You did it. You spent time on it, which means you could have fixed all those other things that were wrong in the image. And in the reflection, you did not take the time. Giant fail. Look at that spot right here that you left this gap of her dress, and it was fixed here. Come on. Details matter. Pay attention to details. Otherwise, I like the direction where you're going, but these are the little things that make a difference. And if you want to be a fine art photographer, those are the things that definitely matter. Okay, last image up. Let's get going on this. This is clearly high-key beauty portrait. Let's dissect it here. High-key doesn't bother me, right? Because now, we always talk about your eye going to the brightest spot. This is a perfect example. Because of the contrast in this, everything's bright, your eye's going to the darker spot. So it's being drawn into, of course, her hair, right? That's where we're kind of getting sucked into. That's the darkest part of this image. So the whole tonal range, it makes sense. This is what's happening in this image. How do we make it better? Once again, it's all the details, okay? Look, if you want to go high key, I don't mind, but this white vignette, which is what you've done, is just really making the hair look horrible. Like that just doesn't look good. So I don't like it on that. I feel like it doesn't help the image. It's a distraction to the image. So this all here, it just looks bad. It just looks bad. Let's fix it. And then the next thing, it is always one of my pet peeves is this hair choking her out right in here. This is something that when I'm on a photo shoot, I've got an assistant who's coming in and sweeping that hair to get it out of there so that it's all going in this direction, right? Which is what her hair, the way you've got her posed, everything's draped down off that shoulder. This is just choking her out so that we don't see her neckline. And I'd still rather have straight hair. If you want to block her neckline there, that's fine, but I want that hair. This is just sloppy in there, guys. Okay, so a couple other things here. Same here, right? This kind of stuff is just messy. I'm not worried about where it's naturally stray hairs. I get it. We all know how that stuff works. But how many? 15 seconds. This stuff right in here where we can see, right, the hair's just falling apart in there. Either fill that in or pay attention during the shoot so that you can fix that. And this is borderline, right? A rule that we follow, you're always free to break rules, is we never want that nose to break that cheek, but it's right on the brink of that. So we could open her face up a little or let her go complete profile, and that would make this a better image. Guys, great jobs on the critiques this week. Keep submitting them. Hopefully these are helping you. If they are, comment below, like the video, and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next week.